What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam, hope everyone is doing phenomenal today, man. Hope you guys have had a great weekend. Hope you guys are ready for week 10 of the 2022 NFL season. We've already got week 10 underway with a little bit of Germany action, which we'll go over in just a few minutes here. But you guys know what time it is, baby. Time for some live week 10 fantasy Q&A. So hop in the live chat. Let me know what you guys need. Start sits, ads, drops, roster confidence, roster non-confidence, injury updates, weather updates, whatever it may be. Hop in the live chat. Let's get it popping. Let's have some fun. Let's talk some fantasy football. We got about an hour and 20 minutes till our 1 o'clock games kick off. So hit that like button on the way in. Hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you're new to the channel, let's talk some fantasy football, man. Let's have some fun before kickoff. All right, so let's take a look here at what we got going in the Germany game. At the moment, Tom Brady has 12.1 fantasy points. We did not love him as a start today. 205 passing yards and a touchdown, 22 passing attempts, 17 completions. Overall, I mean, not too bad of a game, but not a great game from a fantasy perspective. Lenny Fournette has 11.8 fantasy points. He has a touchdown, 57 yards on the ground, but we've seen a little bit of Rachaad White in this game as well. 16 total touches, 68 rushing yards. Overall, he looks pretty good at the moment, sitting at 6.8 fantasy points. Mike Evans has 10.4 fantasy points, 5 targets, 5 receptions, 54 receiving yards. Chris Godwin, on the other hand, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 54 receiving yards, 9.4 fantasy points. Those are like exactly what you're going to get out of Evans and Godwin on a weekly basis. Cade Otton, who we liked as a streaming option going into the week, has 6.5 fantasy points, 3 targets, 3 receptions, 35 receiving yards. So overall, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense, pretty solid performances so far on the day, except for Brady, who we know holds a pretty low ceiling overall, to say the least. Geno Smith, on the other hand, is having an awful game. 5.9 fantasy points, 22 passing attempts, 15 completions for 167 passing yards, 13 total rushing yards. So, not a great day so far for Geno, who came in as your quarterback 8 going into this game. Kenneth Walker, someone who I just continue to feel like we cannot set, but I told you guys all week, anything can go out the window in these, London games, Germany games, Thursday night games, whatever it may be. But Walker's sitting at 5.9 fantasy points. We knew it was a tough matchup, but with what he's done as a starter so far in the season, just so hard to sit. Just 17 yards off of 9 rushing attempts, 5 targets, 3 receptions. Metcalf, on the other hand, has 13.1 fantasy points, 9 targets, 6 receptions, 71 receiving yards. Tyler Lockett, just 2.1 fantasy points, looking like a bust day for a big boomer bust player who is just really hard to sit. Who's actually shown pretty good consistency on the season. On the other hand, at the tight end position, Will Dissly has 4.8 fantasy points. Noah Fant has 4.6. Marquise Goodwin, why not take a look at him? 2.9 fantasy points. Not a lot going on there. So at the moment, for the Seahawks offense, we're really only looking at DK Metcalf with a solid overall performance in this game at the moment. But we got a little bit of time left to see that change. So I'm not going to have the game running because that might mess up my connection for the day. So you guys keep me updated with what's going on in the Buccaneers and Seahawks game. All right, guys, hit that like button for me. Let's have some fun. Let's talk some fantasy football. We got about 12 minutes left in the Seahawks-Bucks game. It's 14-3 Buccaneers over the Seahawks. Still a wide open game at the moment. But I do believe that the Buccaneers, they're 4th and goal at Seattle's 4, so they're going to add at least 3 points, but still not an out-of-reach game with 12 minutes left. All right, Smoking the Cat, what's good, bro? Rachaad White looking good, hoping for a few more catches from Godwin. Yeah, I would imagine, unfortunately, that the rest of this game is probably going to be in Leonard Fournette's and Rachaad White's hands to try and close this thing out, but we'll see. If the Seahawks score on this next drive, then the Buccaneers will definitely have to throw on this coming drive, in my opinion. Jerry, what's up, bro? How are you doing? Great to see you. What up, what up? Can I trust Josh Allen today? Yes. You have to, right, Jerry? You have to. Let's see if we have like a morning update on Josh Allen. Oops. I went to type in Josh. I typed in Jerry. Active for week 10. Fantasy managers have one simple rule. If Josh Allen is active, you play him. I love that read. He remains a QB1 against middle-of-the-road Vikings pass defense. Yeah, I agree. He's your QB1 in fantasy. You just have to roll with him, man. You cannot sit Josh Allen. So I say trust him. Let's do it, man. And you got the stack. You got Diggs. So I say you roll with them. Eugene, what's going on, man? Week 10 starters. We got Mahomes, JT and Pollard, Pickens, Rondell, Claypool, Schultz, and the Saints defense. On the bench, you got Randall Robinson, Tony, Kmet, and Warren. Bills defense. Should I change anything? Maybe Kmet instead of Schultz or Tony instead of Claypool with Hardman out. Yeah, those are tough questions. You know, I don't personally have a ton of faith in Kadarius Toney, but it is a good opportunity for him today with McCole Hardman out. And overall, oh, Smokey, there's a touchdown to Chris Godwin. There we go. I don't have a ton of faith in Toney, but it's a good matchup. Some opportunity might be there for him today with Hardman out. He got a little bit of involvement last week, but I personally, I'd roll with Claypool. It's just a much more competitive game script. Well, I don't know about that, but I like Claypool. If anything, I don't know about Rondell Moore with Kyler having a strong possibility to sit, but overall, I think your lineup is best how it is, except for maybe Kmet over Schultz. I do agree with that. I like Kmet a lot going up against Detroit today. Should be a good game script, a good matchup. But I don't think you can really go wrong with Schultz or Kmet this week. So whoever you feel more confident in is completely fine there. So, but I think either way, you have a pretty solid lineup. And I don't think these one or two starts or sits are really going to make or break you. So I think you're good to go, man. Yeah, I just realized in one league I have Godwin and DK Metcalf playing. And so far, they're not playing too bad. So that's good. Space Ghost. What's up, man? 2 RBs, 2 receiver, and a flex. Saquon, JT, Pierce, D-Hop, Waddle, Kirk, St. Brown. Okay, lots of good options here. Obviously, you're starting Saquon. I start JT today against the Raiders. If JT doesn't get it done today, then we are officially on the panic board. But I say Saquon and JT. The question here is, are we starting Pierce against the Giants? I mean, he's in that Kenneth Walker tier to me. Like, you just can't sit him. But you have some really good receivers. You're starting D-Hop, you're starting Waddle. You just can't sit those guys. The question is, do you flex Pierce or do you flex Kirk? Okay, so in my opinion, this is the way I would look at it. Saquon, JT, D-Hop, Waddle. Flex Pierce for a floor. Flex Kirk for upside. I think Kirk's going to have a good week. And I mean, you could easily argue the same for St. Brown. Very tough decision here. Really good, no matter how you put it. Who are you leaning towards, Space Ghost? Olrak, what's going on? Good morning, good morning. Hello. Jerry in the house. How we feeling today, Jerry? Full PPR, Kadarius Toney or Jarvis Landry. What's up, Recoil? I'd probably go Kadarius here. It's probably the first time I'm going to say Kadarius Toney, who I don't have a lot of personal conviction in, but why not throw a dart here? It doesn't look like you're in a great position overall. Why don't you go for some upside, you know? Jarvis Landry gets Pittsburgh. It is a good matchup. I do think that this is going to be a game script where both teams will be throwing the football. Landry's not an awful option. I'll say it this way. Landry provides you probably with a safer floor, but far less upside, you know? Where Kadarius Toney, on the other hand, provides you with a lot of risk, but far more upside. So it depends on how you want to play. It depends on what the rest of your roster looks like and what your matchup looks like. If you feel like going for some upside is better, or if you feel like going for a safe floor presents you with a better opportunity for the week. Recoil, by the way, thank you for joining the Catch fam. Welcome to the channel, man. Appreciate you. Smokey, let's go. We got the Godwin score. Ron the GOAT is in the house. What's up, Ron? What are you doing, man? How have you been? Welcome to it. Great to have you in the house, man. We got that Godwin touchdown. I completely forgot I had him starting in one of my leagues. So let's go Godwin. I got a little Godwin and Metcalf action. Let's see. Kenneth Walker killing me. Yeah, Walker is a tough start today, man. But how can you sit Kenneth Walker? Like, we've talked about it like the last 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks at this point. A lot of questions about Kenneth Walker. My answer every week has been that the ceiling is just too high so far on the season to potentially sit him. I mean, especially after the Giants game where he had 12.2 points. Got a lot of questions about sitting him in comparison to, you know, players who are probably worth the conversation. And then he came out and had 27.9 points in week 9. So he is at least in full PPR at 9.2 fantasy points as of now. So, I mean, especially if he can finish off this drive strong, he should get you to double digits in full PPR, but it's very close here. So hopefully he gets you to at least 10 points on the day. Eugene, if my opponent has Fields, should I put Komet over Schultz, try to collect those offsetting points? I think that's a good idea. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, listen, I don't think you can really go wrong with Komet or Schultz this week. But I think Schultz is a little bit of a safer floor. Komet gives you better upside. So, and yeah, I think if he has Fields, go get some of those points overall. I don't have a problem with that. Sarp, what's going on? Devonta Smith, Palmer, or Jerry Jeudy for wide receiver this week? It's a tough one because I think that Jerry Jeudy and Devonta Smith provide you with some nice upside, some boom or bust. They both have good matchups. Devonta Smith getting the Commanders, Jerry Jeudy getting the Titans, two very bad secondaries. But Josh Palmer just feels like the safest start here, even in a tough matchup. I do believe that the Chargers are going to be in a position where they need to throw the football probably quite a bit. I think that the Niners are going to be in a position to just run like crazy against that Chargers run defense that's played awful this year, and the Chargers are going to be playing from behind. So Palmer should be due for a lot of targets and a good amount of volume. So I think he's a really safe start as long as it's full PPR. But if you want to play for some upside, the other two players you've got here give you a lot of upside, but just provide you with more risk overall. I mean, obviously as a Devonta Smith owner, you're just going to see risk on a week-in, week-out basis. You might get 5 points. You might get 25 points. You know, it's just really, believe it or not, the way that this offense is ran for the Eagles, Devonta Smith is kind of limited in terms of his ability. I mean, this is a team that is coming up on teams early and often. You know, like they're coming out the gate, they're scoring a lot of points, and then they are running the clock out. You know, so Devonta Smith isn't in a lot of game scripts or situations where they really need a lot of upside out of him, you know, where they need him to go make those big plays unless he made them in the first half of the game. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're winning football games doing it, but is it necessarily benefiting Devonta Smith from a fantasy perspective? No. But anyways, I still like Devonta Smith this week against the Commanders. His best game on the season so far has been against Commanders in week 3. And that game was a complete shutout, you know. So this game's in Philly. I would see it probably go in similar fashion. So I would go Palmer, but the other two provide, you know, if the rest of your roster feels pretty solid, then I don't have a problem starting Nick. I've got, in one of my leagues, I'm starting Devonta Smith in the flex. It's the league I started Godwin and Metcalf at wide receiver 1 and 2, who I thought would provide me with a really safe floor. And so far they've done that. So I can kind of have that risk at the flex position in Devonta Smith. My other option would be Gabe Davis. And I feel like Smith is safer than Gabe Davis. Ron the Goat, Seahawks just having a rough game. Yeah, for sure, man. It's cryptic. If I'm aiming for upside, should I flex Pierce or JT? I would flex JT. I'll go JT. Better matchup overall against the Raiders as opposed to Dameon Pierce versus the Giants. So I will go JT for upside. Joker, what's going on, man? For flex, PPR, pick 1. Jamal Williams, Jeff Wilson, Sutton, Monty, Herbert. Lots of good options here. Like, Monty and Herbert is like kind of a headache on a week-to-week basis, to be honest. But either of these guys can have good games, for sure. Like, they are... they've got a great matchup here against the Lions. But it's just tough to say who's going to really give you the best stat line. To be honest, I feel like the safest start here is Jamal Williams, but Jeff Wilson gets a good matchup. Monty and Herbert get a good matchup. So you're in a tough position. And quite frankly, Cortland Sutton has a really good matchup against the Titans as well. So this is tough, Joker, but I'd probably go Jamal Williams if it's my lineup. But, I mean, it's close there. It's close. Let's see, Cryptic. Did Walker get you to 10 yet? He's got 13.2 in full PPR. Let's go, Walker. Let's go. That's better than week 8. I know I told a lot of you guys to stick with Walker, so I'm glad to see that he at least hit double digits. Space Ghost, I'm stumped. The guy I'm going against is 30 already from the Bucs, so maybe upside with Kirk or St. Brown. Yeah, I think Kirk's going to have a good week. I like Kirk a lot. I think he's like in that 15 to 20 point range this week. So if you want upside, I think he's a good start. Good competitive matchup there between the Jags and the Chiefs is what I'm expecting. But St. Brown always provides you with upside as well. All right, Elver, what's up, man? Non-PPR, start 2, flex 1, Kamara, ETN, Pierce, JT, Jones. Woo! You got to go Kamara, got to go ETN. Got to go with those guys, right? ETN got a good matchup. The Chiefs have not played well against the run. Kamara should have a good day. The Saints are absolutely going to be relying on him. Pierce, JT, or Jones is tough. I'd probably go JT in the flex against the Raiders. But I probably sit Jones due to the matchup. And I mean, look at it this way. Pierce provides you with the floor. JT provides you with the upside. Kind of depends on how you want to play it. But I'd probably go Kamara, ETN, and JT. Ron, John, I need help. Start 1 receiver and 2 flexes. All right. Pittman, Gabe Davis, Mooney, Lazard, JT Williams, and T-Hawk. Okay. I start Mooney. If it's full PPR, go with Mooney against the Lions. I think he provides a nice stat line today. I go JT and Jamal Williams in the flex, but it's close with Lazard. If Lazard wasn't playing the Cowboys, I'd probably roll with Lazard here, and you could consider him maybe over Jamal Williams. It's just a tough matchup overall. But he's had 55 receiving yards or a touchdown in every game that he's played in this year. He literally has, I mean, he's got 5 touchdowns, and he's only played in 8 games this year. So this is the guy to start on the Packers, especially at the wide receiver position, you know. And the Cowboys, while they're a very good defense, they're still middle of the pack against the receiver position. So I actually think Lazard is a pretty solid start at the end of the day. It's close here, man. I mean, I think it definitely boils down to Mooney, JT, Lazard, and Jamal Williams. So let me know who you're leaning towards overall there. Rams or Cardinals straight up. Both quarterbacks are out. Oh, crap. Is Kyler Murray out for sure? Kyler Murray unlikely to go. That's not good. I'm going to have to make a decision here in a second in my auction league. Why? Why this week when Joe Burrow is on bye? I mean, come on, man. I got to put on the underdog hat for good luck now. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I got Brady against me who's got 20 fantasy points. And I got CMC and Barkley against me. Should I just forfeit this week? Why does Burrow have to be on bye week? What quarterbacks are available for me? Jared Goff, Russell Wilson. I can't get Garoppolo because he's a waiver. Daniel Jones, Carr, Rodgers, Tannehill, Pickett, Dalton, Mariota, Mills, Brisket, Heineke. Oh my goodness. I guess I'm going Jared Goff this week. Jared Goff or Russell Wilson, who would you guys start? Oh goodness gracious. Okay. I would go with the Cardinals because I feel like they've played better. And yeah, I go with the Cardinals. I feel like the Cardinals still have more weapons on offense as opposed to just Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee. So I'll go with the Cardinals. I'm starting them in the league this week. Yeah, Walker got a couple of receptions there, so that's good. He still has an opportunity here for another drive or so. I don't know who the backups for the Rams and Cardinals are. It is Colt McCoy for the Cardinals and John Wolford for the Rams. Rondo Moore or Sutton? At the moment, I'm going to roll with Sutton against the Tennessee Titans, who have played awful against the position, as opposed to Rondo Moore with the backup quarterback. My catch hoodie came in yesterday. Oh, Eugene, let's go, man. I didn't know you ordered a hoodie. Dude, they're super comfortable. Make sure you follow the washing directions, though. And wash them inside out. But yeah, they are super comfortable. I have one that my design on it, like the logo is really faded. But that's my fault for not following the instructions. But yeah, man, they are super comfortable. So let's go, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you got the hoodie. Mel, good morning. What's up? PPR Flex, Pollard, St. Brown, or Olave, and Carr or Cousins. I definitely go Cousins. Even if Carr is a better matchup, I don't want to start Carr right now. Give me Cousins. Pollard, St. Brown, or Olave. I go Olave in full PPR, but the other two, I could easily outscore him. I mean, I got to go Olave, though. He's just not a player that I'm willing to sit at the moment. So, give me Olave. Give me Olave. Oh my gosh, guys. What should I do at quarterback here? Jared Goff or Russell Wilson? And I'm going to have to drop a valuable player, too. Yeah, I'm going to have to drop Gibson or Hardman. I've got Justin Tucker on my bench. I can't let go of him. I got some conundrums here. I'm probably going to have to drop Hardman. Which leaves me with Lazard, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Deontay Johnson. I'm the fight for Hardman on the waiver. Or I could drop Gibson. When is Washington's bye week? Isn't it like... Oh, it's week 14. And he gets Houston, Atlanta. I can't drop Gibson. I need him. Oh my gosh. I gotta get Goff or Wilson. Okay. Alright, let's see. If you're in a PPR league, then Walker's kind of salvaged his day for sure. Yeah, the reception's saving you guys. Bryce catches safe, Matt Walker. Let's go. Let's go. Luke, what's going on? Hello, hello. Mahomes, Kamara, Cordero, D-Hop, Lamb, Higbee, Pollard, DJ Moore, Foreman. What should I do? Because I already had DJ and Patterson locked because I already played. So start Mahomes, start Kamara. You have to start Patterson. Have to start DJ Moore. So, wow, do you have 3 flex spots? Pollard, or 4th? Pollard, Zeke, DJ Moore, and Foreman. Let me know if I'm reading that right, Luke. Do you have 4 flex spots? So a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, and 4 flexes. I mean, let me know, Luke. Let me know what positions you're exactly trying to fill and if I read that right. Bryce, PPR, Tony, or Gallup? I'd probably go Gallup. I mean, you kind of hold the same amount of risk here with either player. So, who do you feel better about? Tony probably provides you with a little bit more upside, but I think Gallup sounds safer to me. Fantasy 1, what's going on? Should I risk starting Allen or start Tua? I would start Allen. Personally, I think you just got to roll with Allen. But if you're worried about it, then Tua's a safe start if you want to go that route. I'm not against it. Luke, I have 1 flex, 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, and a flex. Okay. So you started DJ Moore, and you started Patterson. So that means you have Mahomes, Kamara, Patterson, DJ Moore, and you flexed DJ Moore. I'm getting that correct. I would leave your quarterback and tight end situation how it is. I would start D-Hop and Lamb. And I would flex Pollard. Yep. Did you start DJ Moore at receiver or flex? I'm sorry. Because I guess that matters here. But I would start D-Hop and Lamb, for sure. And if you flex DJ Moore, okay. So you got to go Kamara. You're stuck with Cordero, which is probably my call. I'm sorry. D-Hop, Lamb. Yeah, you got to start D-Hop and Lamb here, and you got to start Kamara. And then you got to roll with Higbee. Right? I'm reading that correctly? Let me know, bro. All right. Ron the GOAT was leaning towards Mooney, JT, and Lazard, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. No, those are all good starts, man. Those are all perfectly fine starts. I think Lazard's actually going to have a nice day. I like Lazard. Space Ghost, I picked up Goff because Kyler was out. Almost picked Mariota. I'm glad you didn't. Gosh. What a bad game. I guess I'm going Goff. Goff or Russell Wilson? I have a weird feeling Russell Wilson's going to have a good game. I mean, the Titans have allowed the 3rd most passing yards per game and the 6th most fantasy points per game position. He brings some upside where I think that the Lions will be in a game script where they need to throw the football. But at the end of the day, they're probably going to run the football a lot. I'm going Russell Wilson. Call me crazy. And I have to drop McCole Hardman, which hurts my soul. Oh, gosh. Russell Wilson's in my starting lineup. See, in the Catch Fam Auction League, we only have 4 bench spots. You really have to think about what you're doing. And, man, I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some high bids on Justin Fields this week. And I had a $25 bid, but I wasn't even close. No, I had a $40 bid. Next bid was $50. The highest bid was $75 by Senior Cinnabon. He would have came in super handy right now, but I have like no free agent bidding left. I've been awful managing it. All right, Connor or Rondo Moore. I'm a bot. I go with Connor. Go with Connor. Hopefully he gets in the end zone for you. Jacoby Myers versus Amon-Ra St. Brown rest of the season. I mean, I'm going to go with St. Brown because if he gets back to true form, I would rather have St. Brown. But ultimately, I do like Jacoby Myers a lot. Is Giants defense anything to worry about with Pierce? I think Pierce can have a good day and the Giants defense can still play well. You know, and they're good against the run. So, maybe something to worry about. We'll see. We'll see. But now I think, like, if you own the Giants defense and you're streaming them, they're okay. For sure. For sure. All right, let's see. Pierce can have a good day and the Giants defense can still play decent enough. Ingram or Tanyan? I will go Ingram. I will go Ingram. Good matchup today against the Chiefs. Good game script. Fournette is doubtful. Yeah, I saw you guys talking about this. He hurt his hip. So he ends with 11.8 fantasy points. And Rachaad White got a lot of touches in this game. Rachaad White we've been talking about for weeks now. It was a good matchup today. And this injury to Fournette only helps Rachaad White's outlook. So we'll see what happens. Fancy Dog in the house. What's up, man? What's up? What's up? Checking 41 lineups. Jeez Louise. I don't know how you guys do that. I can barely manage 4 lineups. What's up, Fancy Dog? Good to have you in the house. All right, Luke. I'm glad we got it right. Yeah, you got to leave it how it is. That sucks, man. I feel like if you started Foreman over Patterson, he'd be feeling pretty confident right now. PPR flex Lazard or McLaurin. I like either. Believe it or not, I mean they both have bad matchups, but I'll go Lazard by a hair. But I think McLaurin's actually gonna have a decent day. But I'm gonna go Lazard by a hair. I mean, Terry McLaurin's 3rd best fantasy day of the year came in week 3 against Philadelphia. 16.2 fantasy points in week 3. This game's at Philly. They're going to be in a position where they have to throw the football, but I'll go Lazard. It's close there. They're both fine starts. Alex, pick 2, half PPR, Herbert, Singletary, and Pickens. I go Khalil Herbert for sure. I mean, he gets the Lions, half PPR. I always kind of gravitate towards the running back position. Ooh, the Seahawks. Kind of trying to make a comeback here. Who scored for the Seahawks? Do we know? It's 21-15. Alex, it's tough because I don't like Pickens as much in a half PPR scoring format. But I don't necessarily know if I trust Singletary, you know? I'll say it this way. Singletary provides you probably with a safer floor, but far less upside. And the Vikings defense has played pretty well against the position. But I could also see a game script where Singletary gets more involvement as the Bills potentially try to limit Josh Allen. But, you know, I just don't know if I love Pickens. He's got a decent matchup, though. Who do you feel better about? I definitely start Herbert. Who do you feel better about, Alex? McLaurin, Davis. I believe Josh Allen is going to play. I believe Josh Allen, everything I've read, he's going to play, Fantasy Dog. So, yeah, he's officially active for Week 10. Josh Allen is playing if you guys didn't get the update. But honestly, I still go McLaurin and Josh Palmer over Davis regardless. Still go McLaurin and Josh Palmer. Do I start Josh Allen or play Jimmy Garoppolo? I just don't think we can afford to bench Josh Allen. So in my opinion, you start Josh Allen like full steam ahead. Yeah. If you own Josh Allen, he's in your lineup. You can't afford to bench him. So give me Josh Allen. I mean, Garoppolo provides you with a pretty safe floor, but I got to go Josh Allen. Flex Waddle or D-Hop? I go Waddle because D-Hop is... It's very unlikely that D-Hop is going to have Kyler Murray with them, which I still don't think, you know, you necessarily have to sit DeAndre Hopkins. A volume should still be there for him, but I go Waddle. I mean, he gets Tua. He gets a good matchup. Gets a good game script. Give me Waddle. Austin, pick 2. Aaron Jones, Kenneth Walker, Wilson Jr. Well, Kenneth Walker has already played, so hopefully you started him, right? Or if you wanted to start him, hopefully you put him in your lineup. But he is currently playing, so. Oh, Tyler Lockett got the touchdown. Let's go. So, Austin, did you start Kenneth Walker? Or is this for like a DFS? Well, no, I guess that wouldn't make sense. Let me know. I mean, Aaron Jones has the worst matchup. Actually, technically, Kenneth Walker had the worst matchup, but Aaron Jones still has a really tough matchup against the Cowboys. Wilson Jr. should probably be in your lineup here against the Browns. David, kicker question. Las Vegas offense is banged up. Should I hunt for a new kicker for long-term and playoff push? Sitting 8-1 currently, also Everett or Dulcich. No, keep Daniel Carlson. And honestly, when an offense is banged up, that's a good thing for a kicker. You know, it's look at like Jake Elliott or Tyler Bass, right? They're both amazing kickers, both clutch kickers, but their offenses score a lot of touchdowns. So their fantasy upside is limited. You want teams to get to the 20, 30, 40-yard line and not score and not be able to progress. You want the offense banged up because then the kicker has to come in and kick a field goal, which is going to provide you with more fantasy points as opposed to extra points, you know? So, yeah, he's been playing a little bit down as of late, but he's still your kicker number 5 in fantasy. I roll with Daniel Carlson all day long, man, for sure. 1 or 2 good matchups here, good games here, and he's going to elevate back into that top 2 spot, you know? All right, so I go Greg Dulcich over Everett. Rondale Moore, Isaiah McKenzie, or Pickens. If Kyler Murray was playing, I'd probably go Rondale Moore, but since he's not, I'll go Pickens. But I like Dulcich a lot this week. Flex Pittman, Flex Pittman or Judy. Start Pollard or Wilson. I'll go Judy this week. Give me the upside against Tennessee's secondary. And give me Pollard. But it's close. But give me Pollard. Yeah. David, going back to your kicker question, it depends on what kickers are out there. Like if Myers is out there for the Seahawks, it just depends who's out there, right? If there are kickers ranked higher, then you might want to consider them. Myers having like kind of a down day, sitting at 6 fantasy points at the moment. But yeah, it depends on who else is out there. But I would roll with Daniel Carlson if I was you. Jacob, need to get rid of Mike Evans. My team is kind of stacked. Diggs, Higgins, Cooper, Evans, Devonta. Also, Henry, Cook as RBs. Foreman on my bench. Need to make a move. Put them on the trade block. See what happens. If nothing happens, go look for teams in your league. Go take a look and see who needs a receiver. You know? Look for a receiver needy team and make an offer. You should be able to get pretty good value out of Mike Evans. He's not playing that bad. I mean, he's wide receiver 11 going into the week. He's sitting at 10.4 fantasy points. Is the ceiling very high? No, we need to see those touchdowns out of him, right? You know, 13 touchdowns in 2020, 14 in 2021, 8 in the 2 previous years. He's sitting at 3 touchdowns on the season. So that's where he gets his ceiling overall. But yeah, if you want to move on from him, it looks like you're good at receiver for sure. So if Zeke doesn't play, do I start Pollard over Sanders? Yeah, why not? I like Sanders a lot this week, but Pollard probably gives you a little bit more upside. Fancy Dog, he didn't warm up at all. Does he really need to, though? I think he's playing today, man. I think he'll be good to go. I have Godwin and Lockett in fantasy, so I'm happy. But I also got Suckup. Yeah, Suckup's been playing very good. So it's just hard to sit him, you know. And today was just a day where they didn't end up kicking any field goals. So what, he's got you 3 points? Yeah. Yeah, looks like Seattle's making a drive. Bucks game is good. Seahawks are coming back. Let's go. J-Dubs, what's going on? J-Dubs, how are you, man? What's going on? What's going on? Good morning, good morning. I guess not really morning, but you know what I mean. Steven's in the house. What are you doing here? Steven's been blowing up my phone. I'm ignoring him. Hey, Steven. Graham Gano over 1.5 field goals. Let's get it. Did you really put that line in? I haven't looked at your text. I mean, it's not an awful line by any means. It's a pretty good matchup. I like it, I guess. Lord Bakehead shared their picks. Saquon to score a touchdown. I love that. Brandon Cooks under 50.5 receiving yards is a good line as well. JT to score a touchdown. I like that, man. ETN over 18.5 receiving yards is fine. And Graham Gano to kick 2 field goals. I like it. I think it's a good slip, man. I think it's a good slip. Look at Steven making bets. I like it. All right. What's up, Steven? How are you doing, man? Everyone say hi to Steven in the chat. Let's see here. Who should I start? D-Hop without Kyler, Amari Cooper, or CD? It's tough because I don't know what D-Hop looks like without Kyler, but the volume should absolutely be there for him. Amari Cooper has played very poorly in away games this year. But I think it's a really good game script for him. I really liked him coming into the week. At Carolina, 4.7 points. At Atlanta, 1.9 points. At Baltimore, 10.4 points. Those are literally his 3 worst performances on the year. Every home game, he's had 14 or more points. And 4 of those matchups, he's had 20 or more points. That's crazy, dude. It's crazy, like, looking at Cooper away in home games this year is crazy. I like this matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns, though. It's tough. You got a lot of good options here. You got to weigh, I mean, CeeDee Lamb, Jair Alexander is perfectly healthy, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why I always think Jair Alexander is hurt. You know, he played last week. He got a pick. He had a pick in the week before. He's good to go. It's a tough matchup there for CD. I might go D-Hop. Oh, gosh. Chat, who would you guys go with here? This is a hard one for Z. D-Hop with no Kyler against the Rams. Probably have Ramsey on him a majority of the day. Amari Cooper in an away game with a good game script, in my opinion, or CeeDee Lamb against Jaire Alexander. And is that game Cowboys at Packers? So it's an away game for the Cowboys. Who'd you guys roll with? There's a lot of what ifs there. Z, who are you rolling? Like, who are you leaning towards overall here? It's tough. J-Dubs is looking like Rachaad White time. It's looking like it's here. All that patience probably paying off. Does Kyler being out change D-Hop being a must-start because I still have Waddle, St. Brown, and Kirk? I think D-Hop's trending down in my mind. What do you guys think? The volume should be there. He gets Colt McCoy at quarterback. Jalen floats, but I think he's going to see a lot of Jalen in this game. Waddle, St. Brown, and Kirk is fine if you're worried. Pollard is starting, so does that mean Zeke is out? He's not expected to play. I say fire up Pollard. Fire up Pollard. I mean, I've been kind of saying that all week. I had him as a start in the start sits video, even if Zeke played. But I think we fire full steam ahead with Tony Pollard here. I say roll with it, man. David, it's a 12-team league, so waivers are pretty slim. I'll just stick with where I'm at. I also have Buffalo's defense. Would this be smart to use a different D? Also slim picks considering Pitt for week 1. I would hold on to Buffalo's defense for sure. I mean, what are they? Defense. They've moved it back to defense number 8 over the last 2 weeks. They get Minnesota this week. I don't know if I love them this week. I mean, I'd roll with the Giants. That was your original question, right? They get Cleveland, Detroit, New England in the coming weeks, though. Those are good matchups, so I would definitely hold on to the Bills. But when we look at the Giants as a whole, their defense 20. They get Houston this week. I mean, what do you have to roll, or what are you concerned about outside of Pierce? You know what I'm saying? Godwin's got almost 20 points. He's having a good game. What's oh, the game's over. Seahawks couldn't get it done, man. What happened? Dang. I was rooting for a little comeback there. Good game, either way, though. At least it was entertaining at the end there. Julio Jones looking solid. That's what I've been seeing here. How did he finish? 14.3 fantasy points, 5 targets, 3 receptions, 53 receiving yards, and a touchdown. Yeah. So a touchdown in week 8 as well. He had 11.6 points in week 1 with 69 receiving yards, 3 receptions, 5 targets. So majority of the season, he's got to score a touchdown. But hey, man, if he can really fill in as that wide receiver 3 for the Bucs, I'm a fan. In the flex, why not? Probably still hold some boom or bust. Kyler Murray officially out. Yeah, does not surprise me. Well, what I'm reading is that he is... Hold on. I might not be up to date. I mean, I know that he's not expected to play. But I don't have any alerts saying he's out for sure. But I trust your call here. Sleeper's got him as questionable still at the moment. But, I mean, I trust you, man. I don't have it on any of my... I mean, I've got that he's unlikely to play. So I'm counting him as an out as well. J-Dub says CeeDee Lamb. Prey says D-Hop. Space Ghost says CeeDee because he's the only one with his quarterback. I think I roll with CeeDee as well. I like that call. I think I roll with CeeDee. All right, let's see. San Francisco's division now. Jimbo, what's up? Purist, JT, or Palmer? I think you got to go with JT against the Raiders. If he doesn't do it for you this week, you can bench him. But I say we give him one last shot here against the Raiders. It's a good matchup at the end of the day. Dallas or Denver's defense, I like both this week, but I roll with Dallas. They're just too good to sit. I roll with Dallas. You know, it doesn't really matter who they play against. They give you a shot on a week-in, week-out basis. They're your number 2 defense in fantasy, but that's because they had a bye in week 9. They're probably going to be number 1 after this week. So I continue to roll with them. Who is number 1 right now? Oh, the Patriots. That's right. That's right. Yeah, they're probably going to swap back with the Patriots because the Patriots aren't buying this week. Do you think Geno is now worth more after this game? No, I think he still sits right in that kind of tier where he's been. Quarterback 8 coming in this week, 19.2 fantasy points. I think he's right in that same realm. 275 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 22 rushing yards. A good overall stat line for Geno. But I don't think he really moves up or down for me. Goes into week 11. Goes into the bye week in week 11 with another nice stat line. 19 or more fantasy points in his last 3 weeks. Since week 3, he's had 19 or more fantasy points in every game except week 6 at 12.6 and week 7 at 14.1 with a ceiling of 31.7 points against Detroit. So he gets Las Vegas